What's up? What's up? Hello orchid fans, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thank you for joining me. I recently posted a video of my 2 new acquisitions, so yeah, let's just get them off those mounds, because as you know, I can't really grow plants in mounds, or I haven't figured out yet how to do that. So so the way I was keeping them, I just put them in my trays, and I leave a little bit of water at the bottom, and I just let the mound sit like that. So the plant is, you know, it's not submerged in water, but the roots can actually access the water, and the mound can wick the water up. And then I would take them out of these trays for maybe half a day or the whole day, and then put them back in water for the night time, or the other way around. So but basically, yeah, just to give them a bit of a kind of wet dry cycle. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of mounds, and you know, both of these plants have got new roots. So this is my Angraecum aloifolium, the beautiful texture on the leaves, lovely plant. It's got new roots coming here at the base of the plant. So, and I don't think they are attached yet. So yeah, you see when I move it, the roots are they're not attached, so that's good. And it's also mounted. There is basically moss in between the mount and the plant, so I hope that I will be able to just take it off very, very carefully without damaging roots. I was also thinking to maybe, if I could, try and just cut like half of the mount off, because you see it's actually quite thick. So I was thinking to just cut it off and leave a piece where the plant is attached to, and just plant the whole thing in the pot, so that, you know, I don't damage any roots. But let me see if I can take it off. It seems to be coming off pretty well so far. I'm mostly interested in these roots here at the top, and obviously they're now off the mount, so that is very good. But we've got some other roots as well that I would love to save. So I can see there is also more roots just underneath, so in between the mount and the and the small. So one of them is actually attached, so I think if I pull it, I will break that root. So I always seem to be so radical with these plants, and you know, they've not been here for too long, so they were not able to really adapt to my environment yet, and now I'm tearing it off the mount. But the thing is, I still feel like this is the best course of action, because if I can't take care of the plant properly when it's on the mound, because I don't know how to, then it's not gonna do any good to the plant. So I'd rather put it in a setup that I'm comfortable with and I know how to take care of it in there. And I think that then the plant will recover and it will do well later on. So even though it might get set back a little bit. So let's see. So yeah, there are a few roots attached. You can see almost the whole plant is now off the mount, and there are a few roots that are in there. So I'm just gonna have to take them out. Like this root here, it was literally went right into the mount. So I do have a few roots left on here, but you know, nothing much. So I think it's pretty good. And yeah, I've still got my roots at the base, and as I say, these are my main roots that I'll need to work with for them to adapt into the new media. So as you can see next to me right here, I've got some small leca. So I'm thinking to put it in leca. I've got my other Angraecum, which I also recently got, and I put it in small leca beads in a small tiny pot. I don't have any of these tiny pots left, so I'm gonna have to use my my baskets. So this is, I think it's 8 centimeter basket, but it's potentially even smaller, to be honest. But these Angraecums, they like to dry out in between watering, so I'm thinking maybe a basket will be quite good for it, because that will allow leca to dry up faster, which will give it a drier cycle. At the same time, leca can be quite unforgiving when it gets dry, because it when it dries up, it starts drawing moisture out of anything that is around it, including roots. So it can actually get the roots dried up as well. But I think if I'm careful enough, and if I let it dry, you know, let it almost be completely dry before I water the next time, that should give the roots enough time to kind of dry up, but don't get completely you know, totally kind of dry to the point where leca is actually even drawing moisture out of them. So we'll see how we go. I mean, so far leca seems to be working okay for me, and I find that, you know, I can easily kind of control the environment in the pot. So for example, if I want the pot to dry, I just take my decorative container off, and then that means that leca loses the water reservoir, so it can't wick any more moisture, and it just starts drying up pretty fast. And as that happens, then I can just watch it to make sure I water it again before it gets too dry. So I think I'm kind of starting to get the gist of how it all should work. And the thing is, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that organic media is not good. I grow quite a few plants in organic media, and I think I will keep putting new plants in organic media as well. But the issue I've got with organic media, and I don't know, I may be just being impatient, or I'm just panicking too quickly, but I feel like I need to repot plants every year with organic media. So maybe I'm just not getting a good quality of it, I don't know. But especially if it's seedling bark, and I will actually do a video very soon about repotting my my couple plants that are in seedling bark, because they just love moisture. So I wanted to pot them in the smallest grade bark that I could get my hands on. But you know, 7-8 months later, I can see that it's all just staying very it just doesn't dry out anymore. You know, you can see how dark it basically stays in there, because it just never dries out. So the bark goes off quite quickly if it can't dry out in between waterings. And so I feel like, you know, that contradicts what the plants need, because some of these plants, they like to have, you know, access to water all the time. So I was just taking all the pieces of moss out of here. There is also the small leaf which is dried up, and I want to just get rid of that as well. So it's right there. So let me try, and I think there is maybe another one on the other side as well. So I just want to kind of clean it up properly, but at the same time I want to be as careful as possible so I don't damage those brand new fresh roots. Okay, so that's our Angraecum unpotted. It's just so cute, you know. I love these small plants, honestly. I know they're not gonna have the biggest blooms, but I don't care. I just love tiny plants. Okay, so let's try and get this one off as well, and then we can get them potted quickly. I try and be quicker, you know. I don't want these videos to be an hour long. And you might hear my puppy playing somewhere in the background. So let's see if we can get that one off the mount quicker. So this is my Ceologyne schilleriana, and so it's got the new roots as well. On this bigger growth, the roots are at the base, right there in the middle. You can probably see these white little roots coming through, and this wire goes right underneath them. So this is going to be a challenge for me to try and not to break them as I try to take it off the mount. Here we are. Okay, so again we've got some moss underneath, so I will try and pick them away. Oh, these roots are just the cutest thing. So I'm just hoping that, you know, I am doing this at the right time with all these new roots just starting to peek out, so they can go right in leca and get adapted. I don't think this plant really has any existing roots, to be honest, but once we clean this sphagnum moss, we might be able to see better what we've got there. I would also love to get rid of these pseudobulbs in the middle. So see these black pseudobulbs here in the middle? I would love to get rid of it, but it's right in the middle. So for me to take it out of there, I would need to pretty much just separate this plant. Ollie came over to see what I'm doing. Hi, Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Yeah, he's now going around the tripod, so he will be shaking you a little bit. Yeah, you interested to see what I'm doing? Hiya. 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 That's interesting, isn't it? This is so interesting. You would love to repot some plants, wouldn't you? Charlie now came over as well, but he's too shy for camera to come any closer. And the fighting starts again. Okay, so let me see. I'm just not sure if I'm not sure if it is two plants in here or one. I think it's one and the same plant, just with two directions of growth. And because it was kind of growing in a circle, both directions of growth are now in the same, you know, going to the same direction. So you can see how kind of these pseudobulbs, how they're kind of going around. So I think I'm just gonna keep it as is. These black pseudobulbs, you know, I'm not a fan of them, so I'll see if I can pull some of them off without kind of breaking the plant apart. Yeah, you can see that base is just, there is not much going on in there. But these new roots, oh my god, how cute are they? So I don't even know, like I will probably plant it that way, but then these growths will be leaning sideways, so I should maybe try and pot it up this way, but that means that I will bury some of these pseudobulbs in the media, which I don't want either. So based that they're still so young, these new growths, I think I will maybe just plant it that way, and it will just sit at the edge of the pot. And then I think that as they grow and as those pseudobulbs are developing, hopefully even these growths will stand up. And if not, that's fine. The new growths next year, they will definitely be growing upwards. So, but yeah, I really don't want to bury any of these pseudobulbs. And you know, I could probably take them all off. You can see they're all so wrinkled up, but I think that's because they just don't have any roots. And once these new growths start pushing out the new roots, I think that they might actually be able to hydrate and plump up those, at least those green pseudobulbs. Obviously the black ones, you know, I don't think anything will happen with them, but that's my 2 plants unpotted. I think I'm just gonna pot them both up the same way. I've already got my microfiber through because, you know, last time I forgot to put it in, so this time I thought I'll do it before I start filming so that I don't forget. Who wants to be first? Let's just do the Ceologyne. So I'll put the tag in here if it can stand, and let me start putting some leca beads in there. So I'm gonna use small beads of leca here because these pots are so tiny and the plants are small as well. I don't want to be using big leca so that it dries up so quickly that, you know, I won't even have time to, the plants won't even get the chance to hydrate properly. So I think as well what I'll do is I will plant them quite low. Given that they used to be on mounds, you know, there is really not there's no roots here at all, so I can literally just put it on top and just leave it like that. And I'm just thinking maybe I should just put the wire through and just like literally let it sit like that on top of leca. So let me actually, I honestly don't really, I'm not keen on using wire if I can avoid it. So what I'll try and do is just put leca around around the base of the plant, and hopefully that will be enough to support it. So now my cat came in and Ollie just loves kind of blocking his way all the time. So you know, he's a shepherd dog, so he's border collie, but you know, usually they're grown for looking after sheep, and I think his instincts are telling him to, you know, just control the cat. So he thinks that the cat is a sheep, and he just always tries and block his way, so he can't just walk wherever he wants. And obviously the cat hates it. So I'm going to have to be super careful with this plant because it's obviously not stable in the pot at all until those new roots can actually grow into the pot. I'm not actually sure if Ceologyne orchids are if they grow the roots deep, so we'll see. We can watch and learn, right? So that's it repotted. Yeah, so I wanted to position it in a way that these new growths are actually right there and they're facing the middle of the pot, so that when the new growths come out, they can actually keep growing through the pot. And I don't think this older part of the plant will really do anything. So yeah, so I mean, it is actually quite stable in the pot, you know. I mean, obviously I could just literally pull it out because there is nothing in there, but you know, as I'm shaking it, you know, it's not just flopping around, so I think it should be all right. And the next one, exact same thing, just leca. This one has a little bit more roots, so I will put leca in, and I want to get the tag, sorry, in there. And yeah, I'll plant this one in the middle because you know, these Angraecums, they're not going to they don't really have any new growth or anything. They could actually grow new fans as well on the side, but mainly their grow point is at the top, so it would just keep pushing new leaves out from the top. So I'll just plant it in the middle and yeah, let the roots take over the pot. That's my Angraecum repotted as well. So the new roots that I was having, you see, they are just sitting on top, and they're looking pretty good. So I hope that they survive and that the plant is liking this. One of the leaves is kind of going right down into the media, but I mean, this top layer, I don't think it will always stay wet, so that's gonna be okay, hopefully. So yeah, let's see how they go. Let's follow their progress. I hope that they will do well, and they just look so cute. Honestly, I just can't get enough of them. So thank you so much for joining me in this 3-pot video, and I hope that you liked it. And yeah, stay tuned for more repot videos. I've got a couple plans to do, so yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!